My name is Laura Ingwell, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Entomology at Purdue University. And I am here today to talk to you about the corn earworm trapping network and managing corn earworms in sweet corn production in Indiana. We currently have a trapping network across the state of Indiana to monitor the adult moth flights of corn earworm, which is our #1 pest on the ear portion of sweet corn. This is especially important when we peel back those ears and want to eat it. No one wants to find a big juicy caterpillar sharing that treat with them. So we have established here in Indiana a really good understanding of the development of this pest and its movement into sweet corn, and would like to provide some good advice on how to manage it. So first thing is the trapping network that I mentioned. So we set up traps throughout the state that are loaded with a pheromone lure that smells like the adult female moth. So when male moths are out flying around and looking to mate, they're attracted to the trap and get caught inside. So sweet corn is most vulnerable when it begins to silk, because that's the part of the plant in which the moth is going to be ovipositing her eggs. Those eggs then hatch and crawl down that silk into the protected ear where they will begin feeding. We currently have 2 different moth capture thresholds for this corn earworm trapping network. So in early spring and for late plantings in the fall, we recommend that when you are catching or checking the trap network and seeing 1 moth per night on average being caught, that you should intervene and start spraying to protect your sweet corn. In the middle of the season, when field corn is also flowering, so it has silks and pollen, the moths will be using that resource as well, so there are threshold increases. And when you are finding 10 moths per night in the trap catch, that's the time to make applications. We recommend making applications when about 30 to 50% of the ears in your crop are beginning to silk. So it's important to note that when you're applying that insecticide, again, you want to get good coverage on the silk. So use nozzles that are dropping down and really spraying those ears for protection. And I would also like to state that we have seen in recent years some resistance developing to pyrethroid insecticides. So currently the best control we're seeing are with products such as Coragen and Radiant, and we're doing research to look at an insecticidal virus as another tool to implement into our corn earworm protection. So once that silk is present and you have the moth pressures, we recommend making an application to protect that silk every 2 to 5 days, depending on the weather. So as it gets hotter and that corn grows faster and the insect develops more quickly, you should be making more frequent applications, so that's closer to that 2-day window. If moth catches drop down or kind of low, or you have a lot of cloudy days in a row, you can expand that window and be closer to the 5 days. It also depends on the product itself, so looking at the label and seeing the recommendations for reapplication. But we say you continue to protect that ear until silking is completed and the silk has dried up and turned brown. Then it's no longer attractive to that insect and they will no longer lay their eggs in that crop. So those are really the key considerations to ensure that you're offering the best protection of your sweet corn to corn earworm damage.